Hello, YouTube family. This is Ravi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, I am coming with a new video on integrations on high demand. That integration name is LDAP. You might have heard, you might not have heard. So, we will discuss each and everything today on the LDAP part and how you can integrate ServiceNow with that server, LDAP server, or you can say any third party servers which provide you SSO. SSO is nothing but single sign on. It could be anything. Just for this example, I am going to show you how you can integrate LDAP with ServiceNow. So this is going to be part of integration series, not the one which is currently going on the JavaScript part. JavaScript part will be keep on continuing, and the next video I'm going to bring another on the high demand transform script, which will be the next video after this. So let's get started. So first of all, let's understand what do you mean by LDAP? What is the use of LDAP? Okay, so we'll go to this notepad. So basically, this full form, if you see, we will never discuss on the full form part, but the best part, what I will help you out is how you will understand the definitions. Basically, if you go with the full form, it's like lightweight. Let me write it down for you. Is lightweight directory access protocol. Okay, so we will not focus on the full form acronym, but we'll focus on what exactly this word means in this ServiceNow universe. So basically, this LDAP says it's a client server protocol. Client server protocol means we have a server present and there we have a data. We can pull the data back to our ServiceNow. So these are called client server protocol, and it can be used over any of the IP ranges networks. So basically, remember it act as a LDAP. We can say that it's a client server protocol, client and server protocol. Forgive me for the spellings. I'm very bad at spellings, guys. And which is used over any IP networks. So basically, I can write like this: used over an IP network. This is the direct definition you can find out on the ServiceNow website. You can go to docs.servicenow.com where you can find the actual documentation of LDAP server. Basically, I'm just giving you the brief idea about what basically LDAP is and what is the use of this then. So basically, it is used to manage the access. So let's say this is a directory, like you have a phone directory, telephone directory. Earlier back in 2000, 1, 2, 3, 4, we have a big book of directories where we used to find the numbers, phone number, telephone number. And after finding the telephone number, we used to dial that telephone number on our landline. That time there's less mobile phones. So basically, it's act as a directory and it manages all the directory information. Directory in the sense it can be user, it can be group, it can be roles, it can be anything present on the LDAP server. So manage all the users, groups, etc. So basically, if I put this in a single word, so it is a client server protocol that used over an IP network. IP network means IP address, internet protocol network that manages all the access distributed directories present on the LDAP. Okay, so it's kind of a tree-like structure, guys. What is this tree-like structure? I will show you in the upcoming sessions. In this session only, but in few minutes. But the most important use case of this is it allows ServiceNow to use this server. This here means LDAP as a source of data. Means source of data. It means that let's say I have a server and I have a server stored somewhere on cloud, for example. And on that server, let's suppose I have 100 users and I have to pull that user back to ServiceNow. So ServiceNow use this LDAP as a source of data. And through some process, we will capture all these details back to our ServiceNow. So I'm using the new instance to show you the demo. I am already having the old instance installed, all this process LDAP already there. So you don't have to worry on this from where it is coming. This is a new instance which just now I have installed for this LDAP server to explain you. So remember, it allows ServiceNow, and this is a part of SSO. You might have heard about SSO, single sign-on, means username and the password. One user, one ID, one password. So how to integrate this? Let's go back to ServiceNow. So in this part, you have to type LDAP. Once you type LDAP, you will notice automatically you have all these informations present by default given to you by your ServiceNow out of the box ITSM is concerned. So we have this option getting started. You can go there. You can create a new server. So let me open this LDAP servers. You will notice I have one basic server given by ServiceNow. So we'll not use this. We'll go back and we'll create our new server. Now there's a point here. How I can bring the server? Do we have any place uh, where I am using this server? From where I will pull the data? So in internet, in this Google world, say Google, you can search anything. We have something already present server for your testing purpose, and that server name is, I can write it down, LDAP forum. Let me check. Yeah, you can see online LDAP test server. The link is there. I will paste this link right away in the description of my YouTube. You can go back and check this description part. And you will notice here is the LDAP online LDAP server, and you can use this LDAP server to find the users present over here. Einstein, Newton, Galileo. Yeah. So how to use this, I will show you. But before that, let's go back on LDAP server, how to insert the data in the LDAP server. So LDAP, remember, is a lightweight Active Directory protocol that allow us to uh, go inside that server, get the data from there, push it back to ServiceNow with the help of some settings, which we will do here. Before we start, I would like to show you something. I will take a snipping tool and to make you understand in the more clear way how basically this works. So let's say we have root. I'm so sorry. Like this, I have to write it down for you. Then we have something OU. OU. And again, we have some ON. Now, as I mentioned, LDAP act as a tree-like structure. Tree-like structure means on the top we have a root. Obviously, if you see a tree without root, no tree exists in nature. So we have a root. And then we have the branches. These are called branches. Now, this OU, why I'm focusing on this, because these are going to be used here. OU means organization unit. I will write it down just a second. Over here. What happened? Yeah. OU. This represent organization unit. Then we have ON, a person name, organization name. The person belongs to that organization. For example, Ravi Gaurav. For example, uh, ABC. For example, Kusum. So like that, we have OUON in the LDAP, and we have a root on the top. So root represent .com, means let's say uh, google.com. Okay. So if you notice, let me go take you to this. So this represent you, let's say uh, google.com, google.com, and this is equal to DC. DC equal to DC here means domain component. I will write it down for you. Why I am telling you these definitions? Because these are required. Domain component. Component. So basically in the root, we have the domain, means to which domain it belongs, .com, .in, ac.in. So from that domain, if you have to pull the data, so you have to use that domain. That is called DC. DC represent domain component, and then OU represent organization unit. It can be people, it can be group. So it can be people or group. And we have ON. ON represent name, me, you, anyone. So organization name, like Ravi. Okay, something like this. So only three components we have to remember. So we have a root on the top. Root represent where you are going, www.google.com. This is just a root. Inside the root, we have different websites. That is called branches. So we have two things over here, OU, OU. It can be people, it can be group, anything. And then we have ON, organization name. So root and branches and sub branches are there in the LDAP server. So LDAP allow you to pull the data, whatever the data present over there on their server, push it back to your ServiceNow. That is called LDAP. And how you can integrate this LDAP, that's what we are going to learn now. So I hope you are clear. If you're not clear on this point, please give me the details in the comment section. I will help you out. Okay. Now, if you notice here, we have this option called create a new LDAP server. Provide the basic information below. We will create a LDAP configuration record. You will get started. So how I will get this information? So basically, we should have a server first. So where is the server? Just now we have taken example of a server here, guys. What is that? Let's go there. Sys forum. Okay. So first of all, we will choose ED. ED represent Active Directory, from where you are going to pull the data. And another is other. So if I click on other, yeah, I have to mention that server name over here. If I click on AD, obviously it's gonna be Active Directory. So I am going to put the server name over here. You can see the more information and a name that will display in the list of related records. So you will just ignore it, whatever is written. I will tell you what basically server name is. So server name is nothing but the one which you will create. So let's say I'm going to create a server called demo my YouTube audience. So this is my server name of the LDAP. Now you will notice by default ServiceNow giving you the server URL. You can read about it. From where I will get the server details. So we have the server present. What is the server name? Sysforum LDAP. So we'll copy the server name from there and we will put it. So let's go there. You can see the server name LDAP forumsys.com. Can you see? Okay, so copy the server name. Just put it over here. Okay, now it is asking you start searching directory. And in this case, that's why I told you this information, guys. DC, domain component. Now, this information, domain component, and all these details are given to you by your customer. That is called, see, the starting search of directory or relative distinguished name. The name which is given to the server is called your RDN. So from where you will find the RDN and all that, all this information is given to you by your customer. You will notice, scroll down. Where is that component name? If you notice here, DC, you can see here. DC equal to example.com. Can you see? So if I show you, go back, DC, you have to put the DC details over here. So what is the DC details? So example.com. So remember, all these details are given to you by your customer. So you don't have to worry at all. So now I will copy paste the same details. So let me go to the LDAP server, copy this, paste it over here. That's it. Once you are done with this, on the left down side, you have this option called submit. Click on this. Okay. While submitting the record, you can see this is the name, just a server name, demo my YouTube audience. Now we have to get some details over here, guys. What is the DN name, password, search, mid servers if we have, And if you notice here, there's a green sign. Green means currently this server is active. This is online, this is active. So how I will get all this information? You don't have to worry. You come back over here and you find the name. So what we need? Login distinguished name. What is DN? Just now I have mentioned here. Organization name, which is called as, which is sometimes also used as a domain name component. So what is the distinguished name over here? Go back. DN. You can see DN equal to from here till here. Copy. From here till here. Copy this. Paste it over here. So this is my domain name. Again, these details are given to you by your customer. So you don't have to worry. This will obviously gonna given to you by your customer. So cn equal to it. What is the password? The password is password. Copy and paste. Okay. Now there's an option called start searching directory. This directory is nothing but your example.com. Just now we have given. Correct. Now let it be because we have already given in the previous one. Now let's save it. Once you save it, over here on the top, it was showing testing connection. You can check again. See, connected successfully. Now it means that I am connected to that online LDAP server. I'm not using any mid server here because not required in this case. Mid servers against part of IT operation management, currently not required in this case. So we'll skip this option. Scroll down. You can see the URL. Now over here, you can use any attributes, means row size, limit. You can do the limit, everything you can do it over here. Okay, so these details are not required as of now. Basically, if you have an attribute, we will create an attribute after this. Okay, so once you scroll down, you have this option here called group and users. It means that from this server, we have users and we have user. In this directory, we have group also. You can see UID is user ID, scientist is a group, mathematics is a group. So in these two groups, we have different UIDs. Okay, so how I can fetch the data over here? I can fetch the data with the help of these two options. So how to use this? Scroll down, open, let's say I'm going to open user, open the user. Yeah, once you open the user, you have relative distinguished name. Obviously, we have a user, and where it is going directly, it will be going to the user table. So whatever the user present on my LDAP server, whatever the user, Euclid, Eulelio, Galileo, Gauss, Newton, all this, I can push directly to the user table. So let me open the user table first. You can see this is my user table. Let me sort it by created date. See, no such user created. So we will come back to this table once I will fetch the data from user. Now, by default, ServiceNow will give you this filter. If you use this filter, all these users are going to be coming back to your ServiceNow. But I will not use this. What I will show you, I only want those users whose name start with E, or let's say who name start with N. Anything you can ask. So in this case, what I will do, I will just create a filter. So what is that filter here will do is like your table. On the table, we used to have this filter, correct? Similarly, we have to put a filter over here. So I'm going to remove this because we really don't need this user, all the users. We only want specific users. So what I'm going to write, go back to this. User is present in this UID. So I can write like this. UID contains E, or name starts with E. I am going to write UID star contains E. So this is the format in which you have to write. I can write UID start with N, as simple as that, and then put this in a brackets. Okay, I will show you again. So this was written, you can notice here, it was written in the form of brackets from here to here. Remove this, then put inside it. So let me put this back. Okay. Once you do this, scroll down and save it. I saved it. You have this option called test connection, which is already there. Now click on this option called browse. Once you click on this option browse, you will see you got a node. Click on this. You got only those users whose name start with E. And if I click on this, see, component name, common name. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Common name. Albert Einstein. Name, domain name, Einstein example.com. Example.com. Mail ID. Objects. As you can see, every details are present of that user from that server. Now, after this, we have to get this user to our user table. So how to achieve this? We have, let me close this, not required. Yeah, let's go back. Go back. Scroll down. You have this option called data source. And if you have seen my video of import set and transform map, you will easily understand what is data source. If you have not watched it, you can go and check the playlist of admin where I think on day 4 and day 5, I don't remember actual date on which I have created that video. You can go and search with the LDAP, import set and transform map, or just type here YouTube and just search ServiceNow. I don't know whether my search is up or not. ServiceNow import set. I'm not sure, guys, whether I will get my video here because use search engine. Yeah, you can see import and transform map. It is on the top 9 months ago. You check this, what is data source? Everything is explained in this video. Okay, that's okay. It's just a marketing, guys. Okay, let's open this. Last one, the demo my YouTube audience. Now over here, it is redirect back you to the data source table, where you will notice same thing like imports and transform map. And you have this option here called load all records or load 20 records. So I'm going to load all this record back to a service now. Now you will notice there were 3 records which was inserted, not on the user table, but on the table called staging table or the temporary table or the import set table. Now we have to push it back to our ServiceNow table. So I'm going to create a transform map. So how to create a transform map? Every videos is there, guys. You can go and check. So let me put LDAP transform map. Okay, which is the target table. I'm going to choose user table. This underscore user. Scroll down. Sys user. This user. Yeah. Click on this option called auto mapping. I'm going with auto mapping, or I can go with map assist. So let's do auto mapping. Okay, scroll down. Now you will notice map is created. Only one map is created. I have to map lot of things, guys. User and first name with first name, last name with last name. So I'm going with another option called manual mapping. Yeah. Now on the left hand side, this is my source which we have created. That is nothing but LDAP table. And then we have a user table. So now let's say what I want. I want, let me go and check. I will go to browse. Click on this. Yeah. So I want, okay. Now see here, CN. CN is nothing but name. So it should be mapped to, on the user table, we have a name field. So it should be mapped to the name field. So you will do this, PQRSTMN name. Correct? Now what else we have? We have user ID, UID. We can pull this UID to the right. And then here, user ID. Okay, this should be on the top. You can hold this. Source to be source, CN to be name. What else we have? You can go and check email IDs, email ID, mail. So here we have mail. I will map this mail to the email. I hope guys you know how to create this transform map. If you have not checked that video, go and check. Then only you come back to this video. Now let's say I created like this, just for your reference. Let's click on save. Now 4 fields are created. You can make any field coalesce. Currently I'm not doing this because we are not doing a particular video on the import set. It's just for your reference. You can go back and check what is coalesce. Basically it's about duplicate data entry in ServiceNow. If you make any field as true over here, it means that if the same name will not be inserted, but if there's any change in the name, it will update it. So this is again the coalesce part. No worries. Now you have this option on transform. Click on this. And once you click on this, you will get your LDAP map, the one which we have done it. Correct? I think this is the one which we have created. Yeah. Click on transform. Once you click on transform, you can see code success, state complete. Let's go back to user table and refresh the page. After refreshing the page, you will see on the top Einstein, full name, email ID. What else we have done? Source. Source. Sorry. Source. See the source, guys. Source is coming from where? LDAP, user ID, Einstein.com. This is what we were discussing. So you can notice here the user is present on this LDAP server, Einstein Euclid Euler, and we have pushed it back to our ServiceNow table with the help of SSO. Means LDAP. LDAP is also kind of SSO, single sign-on, where we are getting is a part of SSO. We cannot say directly SSO, but it's a part of SSO which allow me to pull the data from the server, LDAP server, back to ServiceNow. See, 1, 2, 3. And now this entire process is your lightweight Active Directory protocol. So this protocol allow you to get the data back to ServiceNow from any server outside ServiceNow. So remember, LDAP is a client server protocol that work over a network. And whatever the data present on the network, the one which you have already created, you can see here from here, the data is getting pulled with the help of their domain name, sorry, distinguished name and the password. What is this? Admin dc.example.com. So these informations are given to you by your customer. Over here, server name they will give you, port also they will give you, the domain name also, they will give you the password, they will give you all the details, and then only you will be able to do the LDAP. So this is a kind of a prerequisite. So prerequisite for LDAP is you should know the, I will write it down, prerequisite. So you should know the server details from which you wanted to pull the data. Second, you need DN, distinguished name, then a kind of a password. That's why it's called single sign-on. You will have a DN and then the password. After this, what you need uh, data. So you will obviously gonna load the data back to ServiceNow. Once you do this, you will have the option called filter. Based on the filter, you will pull the data. Like I pulled the data from you. Start with E. Okay, same thing. Now let's go back. And last thing I wanted to show you over here, you will see advanced option. These are the few terminologies that I used while doing LDAP. Connect timeout. After 10 seconds, if the data is not pulled, that it will not, if we will not get the data after 10 seconds, it will be timed out. So remember, this is nothing but it's gonna be on the ServiceNow side, not on my side. This you can configure easily in such a way that you can get the data within those time limit. Let's say you are pulling the data from server and the server is responding little late, you can make it 100 seconds. As simple as that. 200 seconds, 500 seconds, 1000 seconds. So like that, you can pull whatever you want. So this is called connect timeout. Second option you will see here, read timeout. You can see number of second before a timeout on read request. So if you are just reading the data from the third party server or any server, it will take only 30 seconds. If in this 30 second, if it is not come back, then it will give you the timeout error. Clear. So connect timeout means if your server is not getting connected within the dedicated time, that is called connect timeout. If you are reading the data, that will call you read timeout. So let's say I am reading the data, Euclid, Newton or whatever. If it is not coming, it means that it is a connect timeout. I hope it is clear. So actually when a LDAP request is made, so whenever you are requesting an LDAP, which is made by a client to a server, and server does not respond, as simple as that, that will give you the connect timeout or TCP timeout in most of the cases. Okay, I hope it is these 2 points are clear. If you are not clear on this, then let me know. Now again we have this option called SSL. You can pause the video. If you know about networking, you can come and tell me. If not, then you can search this on Google, what is SSL. But you can search SSL LDAP. What do you mean by this? LDAP. You will get all the information here. So basically, what is this SSL? So SSL is secure. Where is this? Uh, it is a secure communication between LDAP's client to the LDAP server. So we have a client and we have a server. This SSL provides a secure connection. So in ServiceNow, by default, the port of SSL is, I know this is just for the interview purpose, 635. If your interview is 636, sorry. If the interview asks you this question, what is SSL? Is nothing but a secure connection between LDAP client and the LDAP server. And on what port they are using? 636. Remember that. So on 636 port only, this works. So you don't have to check this. Now we have another option called listener. Now what is this listener? So basically it's a dedicated process that periodically search for changes done on user and group on LDAP server. For example, in future, we don't know. We never know if this website, they will change the name of scientist, they will change the name of Euclid, Euler, all this, they will change the name. So what will happen in this case? So in this case, any changes, if this port is active, in this case, what will happen? It will check and will pull that data back to your ServiceNow server from client to server. So a listener port that will search for any changes done to the user and group and push that data in the user table and the group table. So what is the interval? 5. So it means that okay, let me hover your cursor. So number of minutes between processing of LDAP server. So it will take 5 minutes time. Okay. So again, I'm repeating this part, listener. Listener means in future, if on this server, if any data is changed, if listener port is checked, so within the interval of 5 minutes, this listener port is going to be pulling that data back to the user table, whatever the changes, basically search periodically, any changes made on user and group. Okay, and it will synchronize it. Whatever the user present, it will pull that back. And this listening interval is nothing but it will take approximately 5 minutes. You can change it to 10 minutes, 20 minutes, depend on the capacity of your server. So this is always, you can say that, I can say, always changeable, always configurable. Now, what does this paging mean? Over your cursor. Use LDAP paging service to getting the result. So basically, if this is checked, then only you will get the result back to this page. So these are the advanced options which are rarely used. It's all depend on your customer. So if your customer wants some timeouts, if they have the information, you can go ahead and pull it. And this is all about your LDAP. And this is how LDAPs are getting configured. So if you have any question, put all the details in your comment section and I will get back to you shortly. And thanks for watching this video. We'll meet in the next video on transform script very soon. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.